Can you imagine a red ant being worth a red cent? Well, I found out that's exactly what they're worth, a penny an ant. And I learned lots more in my visit to George Loveland's home in Bell Garden, California. He's one of several ant farmers who collects ants and sells them to the Kosman Company of Los Angeles, manufacturers of the Kosman Antfarm. Over 1 million ants are bought each week to keep up with the demand. Ants are a full-time project for the Lovelands, Mom, Dad, and the 2 girls. So, at the request of James Corning Davis of Fonda, New York, they let me go along on their combination picnic and ant safari and see how it's done. George has already put 8,000 miles on that truck just searching for ants. He hopes to find a way to propagate them successfully in his brooders back home. But for now, a field trip is best. He studied ants as a boy, but never really got interested till he read an article in the paper about 5 million ants being wanted. Since then, it's been his full-time profession and a lot of fun for the whole family. Together, they average 100,000 ants a month, and, well, just figure it out. I'd promised to make myself useful, so my job was to carry in the harvest. Ant mounds aren't hard to find. The trick George has developed is how to gather them and get them safely to market. By the way, these red harvester ants are not the pests that come into our house. Black ants are the ones that give trouble. First, he digs a hole right into the top of the ground, dumps the dirt filled with ants into a pan. They can't escape up the slick sides. The population of one ant colony runs up to 10,000. And here's how George gets ants the easy way. A glass jar in the hole, and he banks loose sand steeply around it, right to the edge of the jar. When the ants try to climb the loose dirt, they slip and fall into the jar. There's a trick to every trade. It's interesting that the ants you see around a mound are all females. The males die after mating. A few of the larger ones stand guard at the mouth of the colony. The rest do the work. They live from 1 to 3 years, but the queen ant of the colony often lives to a ripe old age of 17. 8-year-old Shirley has her job now, separating the ants from the dirt. They slide off the dirt one pan to another, just as they did down the sand hill. It's only these female ants that go into escape-proof ant farms, but queen ants are not allowed. You don't want them to multiply and give trouble. A lot of healthy ants for George's efforts. He's always careful to cover the open holes. The rest of the family have been busy at other mounds. They'll bring in as many as 200,000 ants on one outing. And back at the garage, which George has rented for his trade, there's lots more work to be done. I got no diploma for this, but before the day was over, they considered me a full-fledged ant hunter. You wouldn't exactly call that a golden harvest, but those red ants will bring plenty of money. Each to their own job, preparing the ants for packing and shipment to the individual purchaser. 11-year-old Sheila has quite a knack at this, taking the ant on a stick and shaking them into a glass tube, counting each one. From here, the ants are shipped all over the country. 15 ants for the small farm, 35 ants for the king size. They add food to each tube, slip them into holders. Ants will live there for weeks. Yep, they had me doing it, too. I had no idea red ants could be so much fun. And it's all done for the growing army of children and adults who are making ant watching one of the leading hobbies in the country today. And those industrious little ladies never stop working. No wonder experts say their well-ordered existence parallels our own humane society more than any other living creature. So, James Davis, that's the story of the ants in your farm. You asked for it.